Hey y'all, it's me, CheesyPaninie, and today I'm showing you a commission I made from July 27th to August 19th, 2021. My client C. Lopez asked me to create a full-body pixel art of a Vtuber by the name of Kawaiigrin. I used Gloom Was Taken's character design reference sheet as the basis of the design while occasionally looking at her fan art along with concepts from her Vtuber trailer. As for the pose, C. Lopez gave me this base as a reference. The first step is always to create a sketch. Once my client was happy with that sketch, I pasted it in the Aseprite program and considered the smallest objects that needed its intricate details to be seen. And that was the tattoos. To know what the resolution would work best for this artwork, I drew the tattoos in its full detail in two versions with one size bigger than the other. After I was done, I showed it to my client and they chose the bigger option. Had I decided to go ahead and do the smaller version, which was the original order, they wouldn't have been happy with how the tattoos were too small and hard to make out. It's always good to check with your client for certain things you're unsure of. While I wasn't required to, I went ahead and did the work of drawing the two versions so that they could visualize it better and have a more informed decision. Once that was settled, I went to work making the flat colors. I found it easier for me to form the shapes of my pixel art first and doing the line art later since it tends to be very tricky because of the blockiness of pixel art. At least in this method, I feel a lot freer and I don't feel the need to fix lines every now and then just to make sure it's the right shape. I like to put different parts of my artwork in different layers so that if I made a mistake with one part, it wouldn't be so difficult to fix unlike if everything was in the same layer. Should you name these layers? Probably. But in my personal opinion, if you're not giving this file to another artist for them to work on it, as long as you can tell which is which and you can do the job, I don't think it's necessary to name them. It takes up time, and if you keep merging layers, you'll find yourself naming it every time, and it gets pretty tedious. Since I don't have any lines or shadings yet, I made certain parts of the artwork in a darker shade just so I can tell which parts are in the back or at the front. While you have your list of colors to the far left side, I personally prefer having a color palette on the canvas itself because it's easier for me to compare them side by side and adjust them without the lines in between like in the color selector. Once I was finally done with the basic details of the body, it was time to put in some lines, shading, and extra detail. For each line, I used a darker version of the base color to soften them. I made parts of her clothes shiny just like how the reference sheet shaded them. Having the lightest shade just be a line made all the difference. It helped define the texture of the clothing. Since the shape of the arm has changed, I just copy-pasted the tattoo details and rearranged them to fit. This arm has got to be the most detailed part of this artwork. For the blush, I wanted the shading to be really soft, so I used multiple shades of pink to achieve the effect. The hair was a combination of shades that were slightly darker than the base, but a lot lighter than the lines. To make the shiny part of the hair to truly stand out and shine, it only had one color and was several shades lighter than the base color. To make the gradient effect of the ears, I did a dithering pattern and added a color that was a shade in between purple and blue. I did the same thing on the other side, but with a darker color. To give her striped thigh-high socks some texture, I added a checkerboard pattern over it, but only on the shiny part. To make the intricate fishnet stockings, I made a pattern in the same color as the skin's outline and overlaid it. To make certain parts appear lighter, I changed the color of some of the pixels and also shaded the skin. The shoelaces, straps, and chains may be really small, but I still added outlines to them because I personally think that they make those details pop out more and matches the overall style of the rest of the artwork. For the tail, I broke it down into several layers of shapes so that I could have an idea of how I wanted the direction of the fur to be. I then adjusted the color and started adding the shading first since they were a lot easier for me to work out at the time. The shading also serves as the fine details of the fur. The black fur was done the opposite way simply because I had added the highlights in the beginning. Either way works, and sometimes you really do have to do things in different methods or sequences depending on what feels right or what feels easier for you. Once the main subject was done, I started working on the background. My inspiration for this was the background in her trailer video. And there you have it, Kawaiigrin in pixel art form. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. I know this was a really old piece and it's been on my list of pending videos for almost 2 years, but there's gonna be more where that came from, so if you don't want to miss out on those, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell, and if you want to support my channel, give that video a like and comment what you think. But for now, I'm just gonna go do my thing and you guys do your thing, and I'll see you guys later. Take it easy and stay cheesy.